Hey, crafty family. Lately I have been working on, I'm working on this mod book. I've been saving materials for this for absolutely years, and I'm finally putting it together this week while I'm on winter break. But I keep wanting to do this pop-up feature in my books, and every time I have to go back to a book that I made a long time ago, open it up to figure out like how to make this flippin' pop-up feature. So this video is more for me maybe than it is for you, so that I remember how to do this. So I have kind of like a beginning sample right here. Well, this is what I made just with printing paper, typing paper, copy paper, whatever you want to call it, just as so I could get like the idea down. And so the idea is you glue that into the book, you open up the flap, and this opens up like that. So obviously this little situation is too small for how big this one is, but I just made this so I had something to go on. So in this mod book, so I made this size right here, and it has to fold like this, and it has to have these two sticky uppy parts. And so that's what I'm putting together. This is the flap that it's going to go under. So I'm going to put this to the side right here, and I have this one right here. And so this is obviously a little bit larger, a little bit longer than this one, because I feel like this one is going to be too small. But starting out with, let's see, how long is this? This is 7.5 by 3. And then the part that's the mechanism is 5 3/4 by 4 3/4. I'm just going to get my boning knife here. Boning tool. What do we call this? I don't know. Call it something. All right. So I'm going to start by just not cutting this in half. I'm still getting to the end of this cold, by scoring this in half. So for that, it's 3 3/4. And then for 3 3/4, it's in a half. It's 1.5, and then 3/4 and a half. So we got 1.5, and then I go right to that tick under the 2 right there. And then I'm going to flip it around and do the same thing to that tick right under the 2. What is that? 9/10? I don't know. 8/10? Is that what that is? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, it's 8/10 of, so it's 1 and 8/10 for that. And then I'm going to fold it and get it nice and flexible. And if you follow Heidi Swapp, you know that one of the best ways that you can make things so that they are very flexible is to use a little bit of sandpaper on them. She sells Heidi Swapp brand sandpaper on her site, but I just go to my husband's garage and steal scraps from him. So do a little sanding there, and then I'm gonna do some sanding on the other side too. Just getting rid of like that, would you call it a gusset? I'm not sure if you'd call it a gusset or what you call it. And I'm gonna bend it the other way also. Do some nice burnishing on it, and then I'll sand that as well. My house is alive. Everybody's home right now. My son's in college. My daughter's a student teacher. So everybody's around, and it's beautiful. And one day I'm going to be so sad when they all move out, and I don't have them all around all the time. I'm going to go ahead and do the corner. I like this just because it kind of divides it up. Yeah. I'm doing the 1/4 inch. Oh, my hand does not want to do that. So we're just going to open that up and do the 2 and the 2. This thing does not stay on any longer, so it just is what it is. Doot, doot. So I have all, oh, no, I don't have it all done. So we double check, right? I'm telling you what, I came down with a cold at the beginning of December. It turned into a bit of a sinus infection, and it still is lingering. It's so annoying. I don't have a cold anymore. I just have like all of the congestion still. Oh, I still have one more to do. And I am so over it. I'm over it with my nasal sounding voice. I'm over it with having to tell everybody about it all the time. Anyway, when we glue it on, we want it to be folded. This, when we open up the book and it goes, it's going to be this way. Like that. Okay, so this one is a little different. It's a little more complicated. I'm just going to go ahead and, as a teacher, this is hamburger style and this is hot dog style. So you want it hot dog style. We've got 4 3/4. So 2, let's see, 4 3/4 divided in half is going to be 2. 3/4 is going to have a quarter, I guess. So 4, or so it's going to be 2 and 4, 6. 2 6/8, I guess, right there. Doing that in half. Like this. Because the long way is the way that we want it to be in the half. I'm going to fold that guy and make sure that the corners are all matching up. Burnish, burnish, burnish. And I'm using 120 weight. It is way too stiff for this, but I also like the sturdiness of it. But I honestly, like, I don't buy cardstock if it's not 120 weight, because I'm always making like things that are like 3D paper crafts and stuff. So my paper always tends to be really thick and stiff, and I like it that way. Today's my husband's birthday, and we had a gorgeous breakfast together, and we're all going out to eat. I've got both my kids, my daughter's boyfriend, and my mom all going together at my favorite restaurant. And it's really nice because as a teacher, I get gift cards to places, and I'm using the gift cards for our dinner tonight. It's gonna be really nice. Okay, so now we need to make the X. And the X, do you see how it's folded like that? It's a little bit off. So you're gonna fold it over, and then it's gonna be a 45, 90? A right, well, it's called a right angle. Gosh, that's not reflecting well on me. Obviously, I do not teach, I teach first grade. I don't teach about angles and stuff. Oh my goodness. So yeah, you want that right angle there. And we're gonna get that flattened out. Burnish down. Flip it back the other way because we really want this whole mechanism to be very smooth. And I'll come back and do my sandpaper in a minute. And then you want your other line to crisscross right there. So we have to make sure and be particular about that because the whole mechanism is dependent on the cleanness of this fold. So I'm gonna get that right angle there. Let's see, did I do it right? Yep, that looks good. Okay, so I can burnish that down. I did an origami station at a geometry math night that we had at my school. And I was, like with origami, that fold is just so important, having a really clean fold. And trying to get the kids to do that, they would fold it like this and it wouldn't even like stay down. I was like, no, gotta get that good fold. I brought popsicle sticks so they could use them as burnishing tools, and yeah, they just weren't feeling it. I have to admit, I ended up helping a lot more than I would have liked, just because I wanted them to feel successful at it. And they were first graders trying really complicated stuff, and I was like, okay, well, here we are. Let's do this. With origami paper, it's usually so thin, so there's no sanding involved. Okay, so now I have this, and like when you do that, look how wobbly it gets so quickly. By wobbly, and that wobbly is a good thing. So you end up with this, and I hope you saw how I did that. So, like that. So you end up with these two flappy guys right here. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna take this, and let me check my example, my poorly constructed example that, oh, here it is right here. Okay, so do you see how the W is down? And so we're gonna we are going to go like this. And so we've got the W down. And then what you do is you just kind of slide it in like that. So if you look at it, I just kind of put it down through the middle. Ching. Let's see. Bink. Right there. And then I just make sure it's even, Steven on both sides. I don't want the folds to be down inside, so I'm going to pull up just a little bit. And then I'm going to take my super duper fancy glue, and I'm going to put glue on here. So I'm connecting this part right here. So this is still going to open and stuff. It's just on that inside part. And then I'm going to put glue on the same part on the other side. So it's like opposites are glued down. So this, oh gosh, that's messy. Tamara, that's embarrassing. Okay, here I am doing the thing that I've talked about before, where I go like that, and then I rub it, and I make my fingertips sore. But it works, you know, we get into habits. I remember when I was a little kid in school, they would say, they're like, we're talking like a dentist, a traveling dentist dude came to do an assembly at my school. And they're like, did your mother hold pins in her mouth when she sews? And we're like, yes. And they were like, she should not be doing that. She is ruining her teeth. And I remember, like, now I go, oh my gosh, my mother got shamed. I went home, was like, Mom, you should not be doing this. Okay, so you can see how it goes now. Whoop. Oh, sorry. Whoop. Like that. See? Like that. Isn't that rad? Okay, so now I'm going to get my book here. And this is the page that I'm putting it on right here. And it's going to go right here. So all you do, so I just put like, since it's mod, I found this book that's like, what's it called? Valentine's crafts to make and do. So I'm just going to put glue here. All you're gluing is the triangle. Going to make sure it gets all the way out to those edges. And this, I like to use art glitter glue. That's my glue of choice. And it doesn't really matter like what side you put it on, because it's going to do the same thing no matter what. Like that. And then I'm going to put glue here. And I still think that my little card thing should be longer. Like the part that opens, because I'm noticing it doesn't want to open all the way. Okay. Nope, I'm not happy with that. Very particular about getting it all the way up on those points. Quilters have points, and so do paper crafters. Okay, now I'm just going to close that. Oh, I don't like that, so I'm probably going to trim that off in a little bit, because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, Tamara. It doesn't matter. Snip. And I love including this little pop-up, because who's expecting this to be in a junk journal, right? Just going to let it set for a second. Rub-a-dub-dub. And I'm going to lift it. Ooh, gotta glue my fingers. Oh, it's not down enough. It's not down enough. It's not glued down over here. But you saw what's happening. You saw what's happening. La la la. Oh yeah, it just wants to lift up. So, okay, more glue. More glue. Get your finger in there, rub it around. More glue. Look at that. Look at that. I made a book recently for a little girl who's 13. Little girl who's 13. I would have just been so upset if somebody called me a little girl when I was 13. But, you know, when you're in your 50s, 13 is just like brand new to the world. It's like practically an infant. Anyway, I made her one, and I put this in hers, and I was just hoping, like, that when she opened it, she was going to be like, oh my gosh, and think that was really cool. So I wrote to the mom, like, did she like the book? And the mom was like, yeah, thanks. I was like, I want more. I want to know what she acted like on Christmas morning when she opened it. Okay, here we are. We're going. And there is the pop-up that I wanted. Yeah, so that's the little pop-up for me and for you and for anybody else who needs to make one. So thanks for hanging out with me and enjoying the pop-a-rama. Pop. And now we all know how to make one. Have a great day.